Welcome everybody, I'm Jeff Barton and I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. We're on each and every week and thanks very much for tuning in. We've had a lot of great feedback on the show, although we've had some complaints, and let me explain about some of the complaints. People who call up and say, hey, how come you don't talk about this aspect of real estate? Or how come I've got this problem and I never hear you talk about it? Well, real estate is all-encompassing. I mean, whether it's talking about buying and flipping houses, whether it's talking about mortgages, whether it's talking about title insurance, as mundane as that is, you're not going to get a loan without title insurance. But there's all kinds of aspects that affect real estate here in the Valley. Now, it's a unique place, right? Everybody who lives here, works here, knows about that. And what we try to do is address everything in a half-hour show. So if there is something on the show that you haven't seen, write me or email me or call me on the phone. But I'm available and I'm certainly open to all kinds of new suggestions. One of the things that we're going to talk about on today's show is education. Laurie Clemens is going to come on the show and talk a little bit about education and what that's about and how we get people from unemployment to jobs. Now, granted, Las Vegas is one of the few places in the country where you don't have to have the greatest or highest education out there in order to get a job, in order to make $100,000. Let's face it, people who are parking cars, people who are serving you at the casinos, yeah, they're making pretty good money. But education is not just about dollars and cents. And some of the things that we try to build on each and every week is to describe how real estate, how entrepreneurship, how we build esteem in people in order to raise families. This is a community after all. Even though we have 40 million visitors a year come to town, they come here to leave here what they do here or whatever that commercial is. But those of us that live here know that this is a community. Anybody who saw the Las Vegas Knights over the past several months knows that when Vegas gets behind something, they get behind it 100%. And the actual people who live here are pretty cool. And that cohesiveness derives from the education of the young people who are born here and grow up here to be able to not only further themselves through jobs, through further education, but also help the community. There are a lot of problems here, as everybody knows, whether it's a crime problem or whether it's just a simple problem like where are we going to get the water from for the next 25, 30 years. These are problems that we're going to be able to solve locally, and we're going to be able to do it through the education of our populace. So anyway, I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be right back.
Successful Strategies International offers state-of-the-art PMP certification and an entire curriculum of project management, risk management, portfolio and program management by using unique learning techniques such as online learning, simulations, and facilitator lead programs. Our clientele consists of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in existence. SSI has trainers all across North America, Europe, and Asia to help meet your project management needs. Learn more at ssi-learn.com. That's ssi-learn.com.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Thanks very much, and welcome back to the show. Each and every week we do an update on the real estate market in and around the Valley in the different cities. And for that, we go to Rebecca Fitzgerald. Rebecca?
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Well, we're now entering the summer months, which is the best time of, the next 3 months is the best time to sell your house. And it'll basically earn sellers a top dollar. In the month of April, our average price of our home in Las Vegas was $280,000. In the month of May, it went up to $290,000 in 1 month. So if you can't sell your house over the next 3 months, and you have grossly overpriced your house, but even so, people are getting top dollar for their houses at these outrageous prices. They're sometimes even outbidding, buyers are outbidding, they're going above listing price. So prices are up 15% from this time last year. So basically that means if If you bought a house a year ago for $300,000, you're now worth $350,000, just basically by paying your mortgage every single month. And you have to pay your mortgage every single month. And a lot of this is created because of the lack of inventory. In the normal market, there's a 6-month supply. Right now, we're running at 6 weeks supply. So compared to May 2017, there was 3,282 homes on the market. Last May, there was only 2,948 houses on the market, which is a 10% drop, meaning that a buyer, as they wait month after month, that same house you're eyeing last month could cost you $3,000 to $4,000 more, and the deals out there aren't the same. There's only 2% foreclosure market, which is basically not even worth mentioning. But we're not quite back to the peak levels that they were at in 2008 and 2007, but we are on our way there. And there's really no reason that the prices are going to go, down because of all the development that's happening here in Vegas. Basically, the only thing that's going to make the affordability level out is the rising interest rates, which I'm sure you're going to talk about on the show. Well, that's what I have for today, Jeff. Back to you.
Great update, Rebecca. Thanks very much. And thanks for your work each and every week. I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. We'll be right back.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show, and thanks very much for tuning in. We deal in real estate on this show, but that encompasses quite a lot, and so part of that is having the ability to pay for your mortgage. Yeah, that might be helpful, actually. So in order to do that, you have to have a job, you have to have employment, and at the heart of all that, and community building, in my opinion, is education. Part of the education that we have here in the Valley, as everybody knows, is left wanting our gaps in the system, and how do we help people who really need a hand up or a helping way to get it done. And so, as I said in my earlier intro, bringing to the show someone who has solutions, someone who's been in the business quite a long time, is Lori Clemens, and you're from Professional Institute of Technology and Accounting, and you call that PITA?
Yes, we do, PITA.
Excellent. Do you ever get confused with the other PITA? I had to bring it up.
Oh, yeah. I've had people say, well, I love animals, and I always tell them, so do I, but we're like PITA bread, and then they'll say, oh, PITA, what does that stand for? So then I just tell them, the acronyms of PITA and what it stands for, yeah.
Okay. Education, as I told you off air, my whole family's in education. I have a sister who ran a school system down in Georgia for many years.
Nice.
I had a brother who was a headmaster at one of the American schools over in Nagoya, Japan, and some other countries around the world. So I have a great deal of admiration for people like yourself and what you do. Explain what it is that the Professional Institute does and how you help people that may need a help.
Awesome, thank you so much. Well, what we do that's different than a college is we focus on individuals who need to get back to work and need to get back to work quickly. A lot of our student population are people maybe who have been working, but for some reason they got laid off, they lost their position, and maybe they never had computer skills or any type of technology skills, and now they need to transition in a world where they can't even apply online for a job if they don't know how to use a computer.
Absolutely.
So our job is to help them get computer skills, and we work with agencies that actually provide funding. So the training that they're getting from us isn't where they have to take out a student loan, they don't have to go get financing, they don't get saddled with debt at the end. Basically, they come in, we put them through workforce development training through the state of Nevada, and then all those tuition is paid for. Yeah.
You know, that's great. As I also said to you, I worked for a different company. They were profit motivated.
Yeah.
That's what they were. They were a public company, they were profit motivated. To hear you say that students get out of school with a skill and no debt,
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
And a lot of people don't even realize these programs are out there. We go out into the community and we go to every job fair that is being held, and we'll talk to people. They see a school and they go, I don't want to go talk to them.
Right.
And we're like, no, we're different. Come talk to us. Because we tell them about the programs through Job Connect, through the Workforce Investment Act, through Nevada Workforce Connections, Nevada Partners, Help of Southern Nevada. There's probably about 14 to 20 different agencies. Some specialize for veterans, some for youth from the ages of 18 to 24, others just dislocated workers, single mothers, reentry. So if somebody was incarcerated, we can help them. So that's basically what we're all about.
Okay, now you said a mouthful there. That's a lot of people that you can help. Give us a profile of a typical student, somebody who will come to you for help or that you find out in the community events you do.
The typical student for us is probably between the ages of 30 and 50. They've been working, maybe they finished high school, maybe they didn't. And they're basically realizing that they don't have the computer skills to take them to the next level.
Right.
So they come in, their classes will usually be anywhere from like maybe 4 weeks to maybe 3 months. We get them certifications and then they go back to work.
And what kind of, when you say computer training, do you mean programming? Is it word skills? Is it just typing? What is it exactly?
We actually train in Microsoft Office, which is like for secretarial, administrative. We train in IT, so if somebody wanted to become a technician, repair technician, a tech support, network administrator. We do graphic and web design. We do accounting and bookkeeping. We also do medical office, so if somebody wants to work specifically in a medical office. So we have quite a bit. We also do project management too, so even somebody from a construction related field that wants to maybe be the boss and work and do the scheduling and create the bids, they could take classes to learn that too.
And your certification, what is it that you give them once they graduate the school? Is it a piece of paper certified by an organization? Is it your own particular certification? What is it?
Okay, they get certified through national organizations such as CompTIA, Intuit, Microsoft, Cisco.
Okay.
So these are national certifications. They also receive a certificate from us, but the certification is what is the most important. So it's a national certification that they can take anywhere.
What qualifications? Anybody, or is it that you have to be a resident of Las Vegas? I mean, what are some
usually you do have to be a resident of Nevada, so they usually like you to have a Nevada ID. You don't have to have your high school diploma or GED, which is unusual. Most schools you have to. With us, we can actually help you get that if you need it.
I see.
But it's not required. We basically have to give you an entrance exam to make sure that you have the ability to benefit from the program. And then if you pass all that, then we send you to an agency. And then the career coaches at those agencies actually work with you to fine-tune your program and be able to put you in classes.
That was the next question.
Yeah.
Obviously, getting schooling is the most important part of the beginning, but in the middle,
Right.
you need to find a job, and you're saying
Right. Yeah, we actually have internships, job placement assistants, and then the career coaches at the agencies that you work with, they too have programs. A lot of the programs, there's funding out there for employers to hire these individuals,
Right.
and they get tax credits when they do that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's a win-win for the business community as well as the unemployed.
How many people have you helped?
Oh my gosh. I was just thinking about that the other day. We've helped over 4,000 people
Wow.
since we opened in 2009.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
an amazing thing.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We have a lot of people now who are working that are actually making sure that I know that their company has job openings so that
That's
they
great.
can help the next people, yeah.
No, it really is,
Yeah.
and I think taking people who have either lost a job, and in 2009, it was quite a bit of different.
Yeah, it was not a
climate
good,
than it
yeah.
is today, right?
Exactly, yes,
Now, do you
yes.
find that the student today is different than it was in 2009? Or the same kind of individual?
I think it's the same individual. There maybe isn't as many people who have no computer skills because
Right.
we've been able to make sure that people know how to use computers, but some of them are still the same. We service to the disabled community. We're one of the only schools that actually helps train blind and visually impaired individuals.
Right.
So we help them learn how to use computers, and yeah, it's pretty cool. We have help stroke victims, people that have had issues, TBI, TBI, things like that for military veterans.
Now, what do you
Yeah.
do to get the word out about what, obviously this kind of show that you're on now, but because this sounds so worthwhile.
Yeah.
And the fact that, as I said, you are delivering education without debt.
Yes.
It's just unheard of in
Right.
today's, environment where education seems like a business.
Right, exactly. We have a Facebook page. We do a lot of Facebook marketing. We also go to every job fair, like I was saying before, so we get to meet the people that are unemployed. A lot of the agencies will refer people to us. We also do classes in every one of the one-stop libraries, so we're actually teaching classes inside the Clark County libraries here.
Oh, that's
so
great,
that gets
too.
the word out to people as well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And campus, where is your campus?
2625 South Rainbow. It's 1 block south of Sahara on the west side of Rainbow.
Okay, very
Yeah.
good. And you've been there for?
Oh gosh, we've been there for about 4 years at that location. Yeah.
Why did you get into education? I mean, some people have a calling for it. Some people fall into it. Some people have it as a fallback position. I remember that when I was in college. That was the
Yeah.
big thing. Get your teaching degree because you can always do that.
Yeah.
If your real career doesn't work out. But you seem to have a passion for it. How did you get into it?
Well, it's kind of an interesting road. I started out in bookkeeping and accounting, which is why PETA has an accounting program. Then I moved to human resources, and when I moved into human resources, I really realized how much I loved helping people get a job. That was just amazing. And then I ended up staying home with my kids for a few years, and then an opportunity came up to work at a school, and I started as an admissions rep. And basically, I just wanted to be able to do it better, and so then I started my own. Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
I really appreciate people who give back to the community. I think there's more of it that's needed, and certainly we need to honor and, tell people that people like you exist. I really appreciate you coming on the show,
Oh,
Lori.
thank you so much for having me.
And thank you very much. And I'm Jeff
right.
Barton, your host in the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll be right back.
Ruthless Cowboys, keeping the American dream alive and creating jobs one t-shirt at a time. From fabric to design, Ruthless Cowboys makes 100% American-made apparel that hardworking Americans are proud to wear. At RuthlessCowboys.com, you can shop for shirts and accessories for the cowboy or cowgirl in your life. Head to RuthlessCowboys.com, check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching Ruthless Cowboys. Ruthless Cowboys, we're all about family, country, and keeping it all American. RuthlessCowboys.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton, your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for coming each and every week to see what we're doing on the show. We bring people to the show to talk about real estate, obviously. We talk about mortgages. We talk about the demand, the low inventory, which is really causing big problems here in town. I want to get to that on the show. But before I do, I want to introduce our panel today. Panel, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, Jeff?
Swell.
Excellent. Very good. This is Reed Blake from Business Capital Experts. Reed, hi.
Hi.
And Terrell Big Tex Robinson, and he's from WealthWave.
Hey, how you doing, Jeff?
I'm great, thank you very much. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the inventory, the lack of inventory here in the city. What are we doing about it? There was a big article in the Journal about the county trying to get involved more heavily into housing, and they want more say. And as politicians often do, they want to corral a group of people, sit down, and try to divvy up money that was taxed from the individuals. So just to deal with that in general, solutions to housing here in the Valley would be what?
I would, one of the biggest solutions, what a lot of people aren't doing, I mean, you still have some people, you still have homes here that need to be rehabbed, that can be fixed up phenomenal and sell them. Now you have some of those that just don't want to do it, and then you have some that are trying to make a profit and a gain on it. But look at some of these houses that are here, especially off of Rancho Alta area, 10,000 square foot homes, and now you are seeing some people that are rehabbing them, fixing them up more modern, and you can do that to all these neighborhoods, and that will add more inventory into Clark County, Las Vegas area.
Well, I don't know. What do you?
Well, again, they're not talking just the general, the valley, so to speak, or the county itself, but they're also talking about affordable housing, because that's starting to disappear. A lot of the areas that could be redeveloped for that are now being invaded by flippers who are taking these on older sections, some of the older sections.
Well, what defines affordable housing in Las Vegas? Every city has their own affordable housing index, so I don't know what it is.
Right. Well, right now was the home is possible. I want to say for married couples like $94,000 as long as you don't exceed that.
I see.
You do have to go to a class for 8 hours, and then you get your certificate, which is good for about 12 months. For a single person, you're right in that 43,000 range, whatever the case.
Well, that's
may be.
condo range. You're not going to find a house. I mean, There's
Exactly.
probably only about 150 houses under $150,000 in the valley. I
Right.
mean, there's nothing available.
Exactly. So now I've been just going out and checking out new builds, but now the new builds are actually raising their prices up because they're going in so many phases, and
That's right.
there's a demand for it.
Right.
Oh yeah, new build is huge right now. The demand for raw land is really, really large.
That's a good thing you bring that up, because I know your company does some raw land purchases or working for clients. Tell us a little bit about the raw land, because that's where it all starts.
Yeah, there are a lot of, well, yeah, obviously it's the ground.
Right.
So you got a lot of groups buying up ground. The bigger players are the ones that are putting in large multifamily housing projects. And so,
Rentals or condos?
The bigger ones are rentals. The rental market here is huge.
Huge.
It's
Yes.
huge,
Yeah.
Yes.
especially with all the building going on, circulating around in sports like the Raiders, et cetera. Because those are semi-permanent laborers that come in. Some stay, some move on, that sort of thing. But raw land is huge right now. We have one of our real big investors. And he's basically saying, I'm buying up all the raw land I can. Not just here in Las Vegas. I mean, he's buying up raw land that's a reasonable deal just about everywhere.
Where's the footprint of the city going to go? I mean, is it going northwest? Is it going southeast? Where is it headed?
Well, you know what? Southwest. I was out in Southwest. American West is tearing it up.
Right.
D.R. Horton has the city on lock right now.
That's right.
But also in the Northwest, they're building apartment complexes are coming, and they're going up 3 stories, of course, so they can pack more in. The complex by the Santa Fe Casino, the couple from Canada, they bought that a couple of years ago, built it for $23 million, and they're trying to buy another complex here. So instead of the houses, they're taking up all these land so they can build apartment complex. So therefore, it's, now you got to squeeze these houses in a little bit tighter.
Well, there's a huge demand for actual product that has been built. A lot of outside investors coming to town buying multi-unit buildings.
Yes.
And I'm talking complexes, 200 and 300 and 400 unit complexes. It's probably good for the city, but I don't know if it helps in the housing element, because as soon as somebody buys a unit or not a unit, but a complex, they're going to raise the rents.
Right.
I mean,
it's already happened. Rent's already gone up. Nice big percentage. I know one complex, the rent was $950 last year. Now it's $1,057.
Right.
So it's already going up. But on the flip side, on America West, what they're doing when it comes to the land portion, they're actually building their houses in 3 and 4 stories now. So I went to American West the other day on Blue Diamond Road, and as you go in, it's almost like a brownstone. You go in, you go down 1 level, they have the basement, which is about 1,000 square feet, and they have 3 more stories up. So they're like, if we can't pack more houses in, we'll just build them up.
Oh yeah, the high density stuff. Really.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't know if that's what I want to see all over Vegas, is a high density rental market, but that is a solution to the housing crisis. There's no question about it.
Right.
One of the things that we talked about way early when the show first started was about the water resources. Where are they going to get the water? If they're projecting, Vegas in 20 years to double in size to 4 million people, where are they going to get the water from? So I don't know if you guys have thought about it, or you have clients or people who are looking into that, but per square acre foot of water is so much more expensive than it used to be, and it's not going to be as plentiful.
Right.
Water coming from northern Nevada is kind of the solution, but those towns along the way are going to get wiped out.
Right, they're going to get wiped out. And then now that you have the stadium coming, you have hockey here, so you've created all these jobs, which created more people to come in, which created the usage of water to go up.
Right.
So from up north, but I know they're trying to put a hold on everything, but then now it's you have to go out to Lake Mead, so it's going to get very expensive here real soon. In the next 3 to 5 years, it's going to get very expensive just water-wise. So,
Well, I don't know. Is it the expense or the availability that we're talking about?
actually both. But think about it. Hey, we're controlling the water. It's not as much, and then we can jack up the prices. What are you going to do? Not take a bath?
Well,
not
right.
water your grass? Not what So
Well, energy is pretty cheap here, right? Energy is, and now there's a bill. What is it? Number 3 on the ballot, Measure 3, that talks about opening up the energy sector here in the Valley, or in Nevada in general, to outside competition, which is going to lower the cost per se if you have other companies. Plus there's solar as well to drive energy down. So I don't think energy is necessarily the issue here, but it is water.
Right.
There's no question about it.
Yeah, but again, is water price? again, demand goes up for the water, right? Prices will go up, and then the objective, or part of the objective, is that will then force consumers to conserve, be more careful with the water to keep their water bills down.
Well, what they're doing out in California is that they're instituting mandatory 55 gallon per day usage, and they're trying to lower it to 50 gallons. I think it's 2025, 2026. This is all part of the drought measures, even though there isn't a drought in California at the moment. But this is all part of that limiting your usage of water. Now, I took a shower this morning, right? Nobody's there with a clock, but that's basically what's going to happen here. And I don't think that that's such a bad idea if we're running out of water in the next 25 to 30 years.
Absolutely, absolutely. That being a little bit more conservative and not as just loose. I mean, taking a shower for an hour or whatever the case may be. But that is a better idea. Being more conscientious of how we are using the water and not just using it so loosely. You got desert landscaping, but you're still out there watering your so-called yard. So I see that quite a bit here in town too as well, and that's why they're issuing out those fines too. So
okay,
yeah,
so
people need to exercise just greater care. Be more prudent, be more careful with our resources. And I do believe that as time passes, our community will get better and better at it. I mean, the improvements we've made in just the last 10 years over how much and how we use water and our utilization, our efficiency, et cetera, just improved dramatically.
well, they had two solutions that I read. One was to pipe the water down from northern Nevada, and the other one was to pipe it in from the Pacific Ocean. Now, I think either one of these problems is expensive, obviously, right? If you're going to desal and pipe it 200-300 miles, that sounds like 200, more like 300-400 miles. That sounds like ridiculous.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, there's no easy solution.
No, there isn't.
If there was, it'd already be done.
Okay, Lawrence Yun, he's the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors, was talking about the availability and affordability and how those indexes are not in line with one another. Once the availability obviously diminishes, the affordability also goes up, meaning that fewer and fewer people can buy. We have about 45 seconds left in the show. What are your thoughts on what he's saying, and how do you see, again, we're talking about housing, the availability of housing, water, all these issues affect borrowers, buyers here in Las Vegas.
Well, I can appreciate the challenge with respect to affordable housing for certain socioeconomic groups. We get that. I hope that the market can address it, but it typically doesn't. I mean, flippers come in, they're maximized. I think we get the average flip is doing like $50,000 of profit in this market.
That's right. About 9.8% of the houses sold here are flip houses.
Right. I mean, they're not lowering their profit margins to 20 or 25,000, so more people can afford it. It is capitalism. It is market driven. I don't know what the good answer is.
Right.
I don't know that the county's right about trying to carve out space and then capping what the pricing can be in there. What do you think, Tyrell?
Well, I actually completely agree with you on that. I mean, I don't know what the actual solution is. I mean, because these guys are coming in to maximize as much profit as possible. And then also, they still also have employees that they're paying to as well. The ones that come in and get out the house. So they're trying to get as maximum dollars they can. So it's a tough call. It really is a tough call, especially when you're digging into someone's pocket and that's their livelihood. So
yeah, exactly. Your subs, et cetera, aren't saying, okay, let me cut my price an extra 20% to make it more affordable for other people.
It's the drawback of what we have, right?
Unless you give them some type of tax break on the cap gain portion. Now that could be a buffer.
I got to call it, guys. Good job. I mean, really, we could go on for a while because there's a lot of solutions that are needed. Thanks for coming to the show.
Absolutely.
Thanks
you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. And I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host, and we'll see you next time.